Hi, welcome to this week's sim racing news roundup, and we kick off first of all with RFactor 2. So we've got a couple of bits of news for RFactor 2 this week. The first one is that they've given us a new free car, which is the 2018X stock cars. So these are effectively the RFactor 2 version of the NASCAR Xfinity series cars. So they are based on the RFactor 2 2018 stock cars, just detuned a little bit in terms of power, and they're really good fun to drive. I've done a separate video review on those, and I'll leave a link to that down below, as well as the details on the cars themselves. In addition to that, RFactor 2 have updated the Circuit d'Azur, so Monaco effectively, and improved the AI around that, as well as a few other bits and pieces. And I'll drop a link to that down below as well. We also have an update for F1 2020. So F1 2020 has had improvements made to the tyre model, particularly tyre temperature, which could do some very weird things, address some issues around steering wheel add-ons and the game crashing or not starting with them in there, some blue flag stuff, and just general bug fixes and tidy-ups now implemented in there, which is good news. It's good news that Codemasters are still supporting F1 2020 this far into its life. We then have an interesting one, being perfectly honest. So you may remember from a weekly update a while ago that Simbin Studios had opened up a Discord channel for the GTR3 title. Well, they're closing it today, 6 o'clock today, the 26th of March. Basically, they acknowledge that they've bitten off more than they can chew. They've made promises that they can't reach and meet, yada, 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 yada. It's interesting, but it's also a bit tragic in the fact that this is, GTR3, woo, news about it, GTR3, no, we're killing it off again. They still say they're working on it, but they're going to do it under radio silence now, so we shall see what happens. Will we ever get a GTR3? Well, I don't know is the honest answer, but they are one of the few studios out there that make Polyphony Digital seem like rapid releases of product. And speaking of Polyphony Digital and Gran Turismo Sport has had an update 1.64. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, doesn't do a great deal. It tweaks the penalty system a little bit, fixes a bug under which yellow flag penalties could be given to the wrong person, or people weren't made aware of the flags and given penalties off the back of that, and does some balance performance changes around the Group 4 cars, so not a huge amount, but again, links down below on that one. And then rounding things off, we've got the news that Motorsport Games have bought yet another developer. Now, it is a bit of a different one this time. They have acquired the mobile developer Digital Tales USA, who I've never heard of before this article came to my attention. But being perfectly honest, that's probably because A, I don't spend a lot of time on mobile games, and B, it's a Superbike game, which again would not be high on my radar, being perfectly honest. But apparently this studio make the Superbikes, the World Superbikes official mobile game, and they've now been bought by Motorsport Games, which makes Motorsport Games' first foray into two wheels and mobile gaming as well. So I'll leave a link to that down below as well, and we'll have to see who Motorsport Games buy up next. But that's it for this week's roundup. In terms of what you've been watching here, it is Assetto Corsa once again. The car in this case is the RSS 3 V6 model. So this is quite a well-known model. It's been around for a long time. I think it first came out back in 2019 by Race Sim Studio, but it's just a really nice little car, and Race Sim Studios have put out some other stuff as free to get now, and their mods are generally very high quality. They generally drive extremely well, so I was just playing around with this one as part of a look at the new content they put out, and I found that I put more miles on the V6 than I did any other cars, so I thought I'd give you a look at that. In terms of the track, well, this is an interesting one. This is from the AC Reboot team. Now, the AC Reboot team primarily focus on converting, editing and improving old abandoned track projects for Assetto Corsa. That's their words from the website, which I'll link to down below. So they tend to take tracks which other people have started and show some good potential but never finished, and take them and bring them up to decent standards and finish them off, and they do some really good stuff as well. But one of the things they've also done recently is take some of the laser scanner tracks from Assetto Corsa Competizione and convert them over to Assetto Corsa as well. Now, if you want to be proper about this, make sure that you already own Assetto Corsa Competizione before you download these, and it's a bit like taking your tracks from there and bringing them into Assetto Corsa, but they're good tracks to have, and being that they are good quality laser scanned, it's a nice addition to Assetto Corsa. But I'm going to leave the link to the AC Reboot project down below, and what I'd strongly suggest you do is go and have a look at the tracks that they've got in there, because there is some really good stuff in there, and you're going to find some Gran Turismo Sport conversions in there, you're going to find some Grid Auto Sport conversions in there, and just some really solid tracks that are well made, well finished and really enjoyable to drive. Well, I find they are anyway. Your mileage may differ, but if it does, please let me know down below if you enjoy them or not. And that's this week's news roundup. Thanks very much for listening. If you've enjoyed this, please do hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new content gets uploaded. Thanks very much. Take care.